Alright, so let's say that we're about to enter battle and the tank goes and, grabs aggro on some of these striking dummies. Now if you look over the party bar right here, you can see that there's an A with a little white bar right next to the tank's name. Whereas, if it's not attacking anything, there is no bar there anymore. So when you're attacking, this is what you'll see. This is the enmity bar, or hate bar, however you want to call it, and it's how much enmity this monster has on the players in this party. So the monster will always attack the person with the highest enmity, apart from monsters with special skills where they just attack anyone, or if there's a pet class, you might not be able to see the pet class's enmity, and they might have cold hate actually. So that's another special case, but usually it will attack the person that's the highest on the enmity. So for example, if I attack the striking dummy, you can see that my enmity bar now appears, and it's filled halfway. So if I did another attack, it will probably fill the other halfway and then overshoot a bit, and then the striking dummy will switch targets to me. So you can see it did that little arrow and it made a little sound, and now I am the highest on the hate. Whereas, compared to these other targets, which I didn't even attack yet, I'm not even on the hate list yet. One thing to note is that pretty much any ability generates hate. So if I was to buff, for example, the tank with this buff that doesn't do any damage to anything, you can see that now I am on the hate list. The bar you can't really see, it's a very tiny amount of hate, but it's there. So if the tank just walked by some mobs and aggroed them, without doing anything, and then you casted this buff on the tank that didn't damage any of the mobs, all of them will start hitting you because you pulled hate with that tiny little bit of enmity generated from just activating something. So on the tank side, as a tank, your job is to maintain the highest hate. Make sure you're the top hate on all the things that you're attacking. If you lose hate on something, it will start attacking your healers and your DD classes and start killing them. So what you want to do is you want to tap through everything that you're attacking often and look at the little bars to make sure that you are far ahead of everyone else. And then if there's any target where people are ahead or are catching up, you want to start doing your hate combo on that enemy. So both tanks have a hate combo. For warriors, it's heavy swing, skull thunder, and buttress block, and you can see on the tooltip it says additional effect increased enmity, so that's increased hate. So now I'm very far ahead in hate, and that's good for, I guess, tanking. So things that will help you in keeping your hate is if you marked a target with 1, or mark the order where you want things attacked, that will allow the DD to focus down on one thing first and gather up all their hate on this one mob, whereas if they spread themselves all over the place, you might start losing hate because you can't keep up with your hate generation. It is important for you to keep hate on all the mobs because the DD might be using AoE attacks, so area effect attacks, and hitting everything, which is very efficient, but you have to make sure you keep hate on everything. And then healers, whenever they heal you, they will generate hate on all the mobs anyways. So you're going to have to go and tap through all the mobs and make sure that everything is the highest on hate. So you could use your AoE hate abilities, like for example Flash, would generate more hate on all 3 of these things. And it says in Flash's tooltip, increases enmity in all nearby enemies. One other tip for both tanks and DDs is that on the enmity bar, I forgot what this thing is called, on this little bar with all the little things that you can click through, there's a little circle that's colored green when you're not being focused, but as you start attacking it, so for example if I start attacking this striking dummy, and you can see now my hate has filled up this bar quite a bit, you can see that it's changed to a yellow triangle, so it's saying that I'm kind of close on pulling hate on this thing. If I keep attacking it, it would start going into an even darker yellow, kind of flip over and start flashing. So this is saying that I basically very, very close to pulling hate on the tank. And if I attack it again, it will turn into a red square, and then you'll see it switch targets to me, and it's flashing, and now I'm the highest on hate. So you could look at this thing to check to see where you are on hate on everything, and maybe attack the things that are lower on hate compared to things that are highest on hate. So controlling hate is a two-part thing. In this game, it's very easy to keep hate. There shouldn't be any excuse for the tank to lose hate unless everyone is very severely out-leveling them or out-gearing them. But classes like black mages can sometimes pull hate in the beginning of the fight. So abilities you want to use is, for example, Quelling Strikes. It says reduces enmity generation. So if you use that before you start attacking, you won't pull hate as much. I think Dragoons have an ability called Elusive Jump, which also reduces hate, and White Mages, which are huge hate generators when they cast their big AoE cures, can reduce their hate with their ability called Shroud of Saints. Just an extra tip for Conjurers specifically. If you're in a dungeon and then your tank is tanking a bunch of mobs, doing this doesn't really help anyone right here. So I see some Conjurers do this. This doesn't help because the tank is trying to use flash and stuff around in this area, or overpower and stuff like that, and doing this knocks the thing that he's attacking or trying to get hit on away from the range of him. So as you're healing the tank and everything, and this thing is asleep over here, your hate's gonna slowly build up and up and up and up and overtake the tank without the tank ever being able to get close to it. So the tank has to run all the way over, fetch it again, and then it messes up everything. The Arcanist pet can also do the knockback, except it does it automatically. So the Arcanist should put his pet on obey so that it doesn't do that. Garuda, one of the carbuncles, they all do that stuff. So as a tank, what you want to do as you're running into a group of mobs that you want your party to attack is you want to make sure you tab through them and mark the order that you want the kills to be in. So roughly 1, 2, 3. Just gives a DD a place to focus all their hate on, and you know that this is the one that's going to have much higher hate than the rest. The DD might be doing AoE abilities or might be dotting up all the mobs, and the healers will still be healing you. So you still have to keep hate on all of them. But this just gives a point where most of it is focused at. And as you're running in, the first ability you want to use is for Warrior will be Tomahawk, for Paladin will be Shield Lob. You can see that the tooltip says increased enmity. So not only is it ranged, it also gives you a small enmity boost. So as you're running in, Tomahawk, the first one, and then all the mobs, if it's in a dungeon, they should all start running towards you. As they are running towards you, you want to use something like an AoE hate ability like Flash. Warriors have Overpower, which is also very good to generate hate. So once or twice on Overpower or Flash should give you enough starting hate over the DD so that no one's gonna pull anything off you by doing an AoE rotation or a healer casting a heal on you and stuff like that. So let's say the DDs that you're playing with don't really know what they're doing, and for some reason, even though you mark the mob 1, 2, and 3, they attack this one that's not even marked, and then now they pulled hate on this one. And then you can see on your party bar, it's a yellow triangle, meaning that you lost hate on it. It's not flashing red anymore. What you can do is, if they're still wailing on it, is tanks have a ability called Provoke. Well, not tanks, I guess Paladins have an ability called Provoke that Warriors you should also level and get and put it on your cross-class skills. Provoke makes your hate equal to the person with the highest hate plus 1. So for example, right now I'm behind on hate. If I provoke it, you can see that I am now the first on hate, but the hate is basically equal. It's like I just have a tiny sliver more than the Black Mage here. So if the Black Mage was to do anything at all, any ability, any skill, it will go straight back to doing the Black Mage. However, what this allows you to do is to catch up on hate, and then you could immediately do your hate combo on it, so that you could start moving ahead ahead of the DD on hate again. This is especially useful if you're in tanking a boss and then you die. When you die, you lose your hate on everything. So if there's only one thing that you're attacking and you die, you could provoke it to get your hate back and then do your combo. On the flip side, the DD, if you see yourself pulling hate on something and then the tank provokes, you don't want to immediately go and dish out a lot of damage on that thing, because again, the tank's only a sliver ahead of you at that point. You want to give the tank a few seconds to do like a few rotations or something to get the hate back. So that was a pretty much short primer on how hate works in this game. Hopefully your newer players learn something or can take something away from this video. Anyways, good luck and have fun.